So, as very much expected, the rollout of Silver Age has certainly revitalized and energized large parts of the Flesh and Blood community. Our October Call event not only saw a bunch of new folks come, but a bunch of course, returning players coming back to join us for budgets and brews. So, in today's video, I'm going to be recapping our October event as well as presenting the top 4 deck lists. You're watching Budget Format Fab on Dice Commando, your BFF for all things in budget Flesh and Blood. Coming to you midweek each week, these videos are possible thanks to the support of our channel members. If you want to get involved with the channel and join us on our community Discord, please consider joining as a member. You can be our BFF and show your support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving a comment. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my Flesh and Blood BFFs. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for tuning in for another Budget Format Fab, where that's right, we are recapping our most recent, the October event of Project Brew, a Silver Age tournament series. That's right, it's our budget series where we go around town and have a bunch of good time just being a community together and, hey, playing some budget decks and seeing what falls out. So I wanted to recap that event today. It was a pretty fun time. We went over to Bearlick Tap Room, which I had personally never been to before, and that's kind of the fun of all this. They actually have really, really, really good pizza at, what you would expect for, hipster pizza prices, but it was still really good. And hey, you gotta love it. So that was a lot of fun. We did have 15 individuals come out on the day. The top 4 of the event, we had Carrie taking it down on Riptide. That's right, kids, on Riptide. I was on Aria trying to prove that Pummel can survive in any deck and do quite well in the format. We had Sean Cowan on OG Dash. Now, you may remember that Sean took down the last crawl, the September crawl. And then we had Mac Caldwell show up on Aurora. Love it. Show up on Aurora, and he went in 4th. We also had Dylan on Phi. I played Dylan in round 1, and he had a dead draw turn. And that, that's all she wrote. That I think that game should have been a lot closer than it was. We had Chad on Chane, Cameron on Katsu, huge surprise there. Travis was actually able to come out and join us, which was awesome, and he was shooting arrows, which surprised to no one. Daniel Smith on Phi. We had David on Peter. Steven also on Riptide. Chase on Azalea. Nicole on Bravo. Nicholas on Briar. And Trevor on Florian. And you can see the event breakdown there in terms of the number of wins. So let's go ahead and get right into the decks, because why the heck not? And that takes us to Matt Caldwell's Aurora. Now, I was talking, so after he laid out his, so I did get to play him. I think it was round 2 or round 3, I forget which one, but I did get to play him. And then we were talking after, while he had laid out his deck for us to take the pictures, and he had ordered a bunch of cards on like TCG Player. I don't know where he ordered, but he had ordered a bunch of cards, and not all of them had shown up yet. So there was a couple, I was like, well, why not this? Why this? Why not this? And he's like, oh, they're just not here yet. Right. So I think that makes a lot of sense into, a couple, basically the deck shells exactly as you would expect it to be. But there's a couple of choices there that, I think are not optimal, because that's the case. So going into the loadout, he's on Flash of Brilliance, Blossom of Spring, Runehold Release, and then he's on the Blade Beckoner Boots. Stack on the right, we have a red Photon Rush, we have blue Arcanic Crackle, we have red Lightning Surge, and then Flittering Charge. No surprise to any of those. Actually, the blue Arcanic Crackle I actually like. I don't have that in my deck list, and I actually really, really like that. Going into that second column there, we have red Scar, red Second Strike, Lightning Press, of course, Static Shock, of course, Sigil of Suffering, because that card is crazy in this format with no other D-Reacts around, plus it's really good anyway. Sizzle. And then 2 Blast for Oblivion red. This is one that I haven't run, and this is a very interesting one. We'd have Burn Up Shock, of course, which is kind of like one of the things in the deck. Now on the right side there, we have Crackling, we have Fry, Arcanic Shockwave, Snatch, Nimbleism ×2. Now we did talk about Nimbleism being Weave Lightning. He agreed. He said it's just not there yet. All right, so just keep that in mind, that the Nimbleisms are effectively Weave Lightning in this list going forward. Ravenous Rabble, 2 Skzz, and then Trip the Light Fantastic for blue. Remember, that's the one that you can discard. It's a blue, it defends 2, and then you can also discard it to prevent 2, which is pretty relevant for some effects out there, like, I don't know, taken bullets from Riptide. So thank you, Mac, for sharing your deck with us, and well played on the day. All right, going now into Sean's third place deck. Now I do, again, very high performing deck, obviously with a very well piloted player who has a lot of experience on this deck. He took a version of this deck in a commoner format to PDX Portland. So it has a lot of, and by PDX Portland, sorry, Battle Hardened Portland, excuse me. So Sean has quite a bit of reps on this deck. Okay, so I will go through this one pretty fast because we've seen this one over and over again. But in terms of the loadout, he's on a lot of Blade Beckoner stuff. He's on Talishar. He's on full suite of Null, except, of course, for the boots, which you don't have to. And now he is on Cogworks-based Chest, which is pretty cool in terms of, doing what it needs to do. And he's on Pistol, and he is on also Talishar. Now, when I played Sean, it was round 3 match when I played Sean. The Ira deck I have, as you'll see, there's a lot of 2-blocks. I was still able to fatigue him out, but that's because he sat down with Talishar and not Pistol. And I think that made a I know it made a big difference within the match. Now, of course, he's on Hyperdriver, and then as you can see as we go through the deck, he has quite a bit of anti-fatigue stuff in this. So he has Rev Up ×2, Big Bertha red, Big Bertha blue, and then T-Bone red and yellow. We have Big Shot red, and then a full boat of throttles, right? So you can see right in that kind of left side is really his anti-fatigue tech with just the much bigger, I shouldn't say anti-fatigue tech, but it's his, trying not to get fatigued as aggressively tech with the bigger attacks coming out. He's got a full boat of Crankshaft. Man, when we played, he had so many freaking counters on his Hyperdriver. It was crazy. Full boat of jump starts, because that's basically a zipper. Full boat of zipper, full boat of 0. And then 2 payload. And, well, straight, simple. Not a lot of rares in it, honestly, in terms of the upgrade. But I got to tell you, that will get it done. All right, now we go over to my Ira deck. So I want to set the stage for this. First off, this was an experiment. I actually, morning of, I'd been playing around and doing gold fishing and stuff with this, and I'd had it for a couple days, and then morning of I was doing the normal goldfish thing, and I almost pivoted away because this deck it's good, not great. It's not, you would not take this deck to a calling. Okay, so I'm more than happy to share this list because I don't think this is super solid. So I want to set the stage that this is a straight up value build that is looking to take advantage of Pummel. That's the play, right? The RTT kitty package with Ira is, with anybody in the budget formats, is really, really, really strong. Pummel fits right into that, and Pummel in this format is insane. So I was going for a pure value build. So what you see is I'm on the RTT kitty package, except for I'm on the Helm. I'm not even trying to do card draw stuff. That's not what we're trying to do here. A lot of times you're going 1-2-7, right, off of the, or 2-6 as it may be, off of the big ones, and you'll see the value. I'm on 3 Null Runes and Kodachi. So in terms of the sideboard, I have 1 Springboard in sideboard. I have Arcanic Polarity ×2. I have Wax On. That's for, like the Assassin matchups. It's for the Fi matchup specifically. Then I have 1 copy of Gravekeeping, and that is also for the Fi matchup because that basically ends their game. You can take away, obviously, either you time walk them, they give you potentially a lot of their hand, because remember they would have already anyway. Gravekeeping's in there for Fi, and that is a local meta call. Again, that's not something I would take to a Battle Hardened, right? That was a local meta call because I know we have a lot of Fis in the area. Okay, looking at you, Anthony. Targeting for you, buddy. So going into the main deck, okay, let's talk the blues that you see lined up across the bottom very intentionally. There's a lot of what would appear to be a lot of very odd choices in there, like Silver Talons. Why the heck is Silver Talons in there? We're not making anything draconic. It's a 3-block. It's a blue 0/3 block that attacks for 2. Okay. Now, a Pouncing She is the only one in there that is not fitting that curve, except that it works, obviously, with Go Again off of Tigers, which we can make. So that's why I've acquiesced for 2 of the Pouncing She. But Flusterfist, Wounding Blow, Seek Vengeance Blue, Soulbead Strike, Silver Talons, they all fit that mold. They all block 3. They all attack for 2. I have 1 copy of Nip at the Heels for cheeky endgame plays. You can also do it with, right, it works with Kodachi. So 1 copy there. I do board that out for Springboard Somersault in matches where I need that. Okay, so that's where that's flipped out. Now, Flex Claw, going to the top. Flex Claws, It's funny, I talk about Flex Claws and how much I love that card because it can create the kitty that then becomes free, or gets a free +1 is what I mean, right? Especially in this format with not having D-Reacts. I've had several people tell me that they think I'm crazy for that. The value on that is insanely strong, in my opinion, so I really like that card in Ira. Bittering Thorns, of course, I have Cut Through. That card does serious work, but again, right, you're getting into not a lot of good blocking. That's what you see across this deck. Blocking is non-optimal. We have Pummel, which is a freaking rock star. We're on some of the, in terms of the 2/5s or the 2/6s, we're on some of the all-stars from Commoner. We're on Stony Wooten Hog. We're also on Surging Militia, which is a 2/5, not a popper. I'm on Humble. That's a rare that has joined us in this format. I'm on Torrent of Tempo, Smash Up, and Snatch, kind of as the general like 1/2, 1/5, 0/4 type thing. And then I'm on Bluster Bluff, which is brand new card. I absolutely love that card. I've sung the praises of that before. The other addition that I don't know how much longer this card's going to be legal in the format is Sirens of Safe Harbor. That card is, I think, also... So you can see we're running several cards in here that I think are above curve and probably shouldn't be in the format. So be it. And then in terms of the blocks, I do have one main board somersault, and I have 2 Tiger Eye reflexes. Just remember, that's a block, not a defense reaction. I make that mistake so many times. But this is also really good with Ira because that kitty can go in second position and come in for a 1, and it just screws up their blocking. It's not that we care about chains or anything. It's just pure value. You block 3, and you get 1 attack. Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Right, so that is my deck. Like I said, it's good, not great. It's good for surprise factor. I think once people have seen what you're doing, I don't think it's got super big legs. All right, so now let's go into Carrie's Riptide deck. So I played Carrie in the finals, obviously, and I lost. I had 3 health, and I was attacking with a Tiger, and he triple trapped me to take me down to 0 for the win. And what are you going to do aside from Calming Breeze, right? What are you going to do? He said, well, if you got it, you got it. And went, poof, poof, poof. And I'm like, okay, fist bump. Nicely done. So that was a thing. And he also does have some anti-fatigue tech in here, as you'll see, with his salvage shots. So going into Carrie's deck, we are on Blade, Beckoner, Helm, Plates, and Boots. He's running, of course, the Bullseye's Bracers, which gives him 1 AB. He's on Blossom of Spring, and then he's on Null Boots, so he has AB2, but he is on Arcane Polarity, you can see there on the right side, for when he needs that in the matchup. Now, he's running Death Dealer and Quiver. Death Dealer with the card draw is pretty darn good. Now we're going to, in that second column there, you see his pumps. So there's Lace Frailty, Lace Blood Rot, Lace Inertia, so the full Lace series. He's playing 1 Scout, the Periphery, and then 2 Nimblisms. Remember, you're getting the reload off Riptide, the effective reload off the Riptide each time you do that. Going into his arrows, we have Dry Powder Shot. Of course we do, a 0/5. Widowmaker is a great one to suck out blocks. Headshot Red is also really, really good. That's however, Headshot Red gives you the bonus when put in face up. So that's going to be more of a Death Dealer play. Okay. Infecting Shot Red and Blue. Boltyn Shot Red and Blue. No Boltyn Shot Yellow, which is interesting here. But I think probably the right call when you look at what he's trying to do in terms of send bigger arrows with Riptide on the reload. And then he has 1 red salvage shot, 1 blue salvage shot, and 1 blue hamstring shot. Has Scar for a Scar Red, which again is great with Riptide. You start below or you start lower, so you have the option for the reload right away. Interestingly enough, Carrie also showed up with Gravekeeping, which I think was, like, again, Carrie's a smart dude, makes a lot of sense to me. I appreciate the play. I gave him some like fist bump for that one. I was like, hey, I guess great minds and all that, right? Battlefront Bastion, blue, which is a really good Ira or go wide tech, and then 1 Death Touch. And then if we go on the right side in terms of, let's just call them the defensive cards, we have Oasis Respite, Pitfall Trap, Pendulum Trap, Take Cover ×2, really, really good. There's the 0/4. Inertia Trap, Frailty Trap, Boulder Trap, and Tar Pit Trap to turn off the unhits. Oh, so smart. So if you look at that in terms of, the damage from hand, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 traps. I counted take cover the first time. So 10 traps for him with quite a bit of, 10 traps in a, 20 health format. That's like actually pretty darn good. So don't count out the Riptide. We will see, again, how long the Riptides are able to do their surprise thing. Riptide's still very fatigable, but again, he's got those salvage shots in there, which absolutely do help him. And you just got to be careful with the death dealer, with the card draw and the cycling on that one. But in many cases, the salvage shots can do serious work to help you in game. So that is the top 4 decks from the event. Looking forward to the November one, especially coming out of that. We should have more info. We will have more info out of Worlds. Don't have the date finalized yet for that yet. If you're looking for that, of course, I'll get it posted in all the PDX Discords, and I'll put it on the socials as well if you decide you want to fly in and get some Silver Age practice before everyone has to go up to Seattle in early December. So anyway, that'll end us off. Thanks for watching, my friends, and of course, go Commando.